Verbal Riot.
The actor Terrence Howard. Uh, Terrence Howard is a very good actor, right? And I think the guy should have had a bigger career than he's had. Not to say the guy's doing bad at all. He's not doing bad. You know what's funny is I'm seeing Terrence Howard everywhere now, right? And Terrence Howard has been known in the business to be very outspoken about his views. Very outspoken. He's if you've seen him on any interview, you saw him on Joe Rogan, he's kind of an eccentric guy. He's an eccentric uh uh I don't want to call him genius, but the guy he's pretty smart, except when he's like creating his own math and weird shit like that. But he's a very controversial figure in Hollywood because he's been, I don't want to say blacklisted, but I know that he's had a weird shadow over his career. And there's been times where co-stars of his have said some not so great things about him, right? So he's polarizing. That's what I'm looking for. Terrence Howard is very polarizing. Well, recently he was on Bill Maher, and he was talking about that a few years ago he was asked to play Marvin Gay in a biopic. Marvin Gay, which all of you guys should know, is one of the greatest R&B singers of all time. I mean, the man is a legend. And the way Marvin Gaye died was very shocking. Very shocking. If you don't know, Marvin Gaye was shot. He was killed by his own father. And I remember that day like it was like yesterday. Like I remember, and the only reason why I remember this because guys, this happened back in 1980. I want to say 86, 85, 86. No, I want to say 86. The reason why I remember this is because my aunts, my grandmother, my mom, these women loved this man. They loved Marvin Gaye. Okay. Like you could not say a damn thing about Marvin Gaye. And to the world, Marvin Gaye was a great singer. But it also turns out that Marvin Gaye, which surprisingly I didn't really know, was, I guess, gay, or he was at least bi. He was bi. He there's a lot of things out there that I didn't care. I just loved his music. I didn't care what he did. But apparently they asked Terrence Howard to play him in a movie, which would have been phenomenal, I think. Even though I think Terrence Howard would have been a better like Smokey Robinson, but that's a whole nother thing. But no, they asked me to be Marvin Gaye, and this is the interview with Bill Maher where he talks about this.
And Marvin Gaye was like, you would have been perfect as Marvin Gaye, and that is a story that needs to be told.
Let you know what happened with that. I was over at Quincy Jones' house. I'm not dropping names. I'm just giving credibility to what I'm about. What I'm
never
saying.
drop names. De Niro told me that.
Yeah. So, but I'm asking Quincy. I'm hearing rumors that Marvin was gay. And I'm like, was he gay? And Quincy's like, yes.
Oh.
He went around it with everything, and I was like, no. And I'm like, I could not.
I just feel like there's gay for real, and then there's a point where guys get so much pussy, they're just like, oh, fuck it.
Yeah, well, it would have been that, but they would have wanted to do that, and I wouldn't have been able to do that.
Well, you mean you couldn't kiss a guy on screen in a movie?
No.
Not even, yeah.
No, because I don't fake it. I literally, it has to.
I couldn't kiss a man either. That's true. And that
would fuck me. I would cut my lips off.
Yeah. No,
I would. If I kiss some man, I would cut my lips off.
Well, I would not do that. But it does not make me homophobic. You're not.
So, yeah, I don't want to play it too long because I don't know how YouTube trips with some of that time with the video stuff sometimes. But Yeah, Terrence Howard is receiving a lot of hate right now, a lot of shit, because he said that he did not want to play a gay man, he did not want to kiss a man, and that he would cut his own lips off if he had to kiss a man. Which, that's a little extreme, but I do understand where he's coming from with that. I mean, shit, I wouldn't want to kiss a fucking man either, but he's receiving a lot of hate, a lot of angry, pissed off people that are saying he's a homophobe, and obviously the fact that he's saying this to Bill Maher on a very public show is probably not going to be great for his career after this. But I don't think Terrence Howard has ever cared about what Hollywood thinks of him. Like he is, believe me, I think he said worse things than this in the public eye. But my question is, though, why shouldn't he have the right, or why does he have to kiss a man if he doesn't want to? How does that make him homophobic because he doesn't want to kiss a guy? Like, is that where we are now, where if you don't want to kiss or fuck a guy, then you are homophobic? Is that what it is? Now, sure, I would cut my own lips off was a little extreme of a statement. But I think he was just trying to put an exclamation point on what he was trying to say. But why is that such a bad thing of him not wanting to kiss a guy? Because guarantee you, if a gay actor says, "Hey, I don't want to kiss a woman on screen," oh, he would get all kind of claps and yes queens and all kind of shit, right? All kind of stuff like that. But if a straight person says they don't want to do a gay scene, that's a problem. And I've heard people, try to justify it with it's called acting. I'm like, so fucking what? Your lips are still on that person that you don't want to kiss. Hell, you can call pro wrestling fake, but I guarantee you, if I suplexed you, you would feel that shit, right? If I were to clothesline you, you would feel that shit, even though wrestling is fake, right? So, what are we talking about here? Yes, I have been on sets. I have been on film sets where there is a love scene happening, and when I tell you guys, it is the most unsexy thing in the world. I am not exaggerating. I'm not kidding. Being on a film set when there's a love scene happening is, number one, it's awkward for everybody, but number two, it's not hot. It's not sexy. These actors aren't into it. You know what I mean? You got some guy standing above you with a fucking boom mic, right? And you got three other guys with cameras pointed straight at you, right? It's not a sexy thing. And I'm talking about a love scene, guys, not porn. Not porn. I'm talking about a love scene in a film, in a real film, where there's no penetration. Okay, I'm not talking about porn. That's a whole other thing. But it's very unsexy. But even with that, contact is still being made. It's still being made. You're still feeling and kissing the person. It's not sexy, but you're doing it. So again, I don't know what people are talking about when they're like, it's just acting. He should have the right to say, hell no, I'm not into this shit. But I guess that's the thing now, right? It's like, if you're not 100% completely on board with all this shit, then you get the blacklist. Then you get the labels, right? Then you get dragged. Now, if studios are stupid enough to keep buying into this shit and, canceling their talent because of, what a few morons think on the internet, then fine. They could do what they want to do. But I got to applaud, Terrence Howard here, because, he had the guts, he had the balls to say what he said. Was it extreme? Probably. But let me make something really clear, guys. When I say preference is preference, I'm 100% on that. Preference is preference. Like, if a white woman says she wasn't sexually into black dudes. Am I going to fault her for that? No, because that's not what she's into. There are some people not into thicker women. There are some people not into thin men. There are some people not into like shades of colors. Look, whatever you're into is what you're into. And that's just, it is what it is. No one should have to do anything with anybody out of guilt. Sorry, it doesn't work like that. If he wants to turn down a role because the role is gay, good for him. See, I've noticed what happens a lot of times in Hollywood, and you guys, peep game, because I don't think you know this. See, something you'll get a script, right? As an actor, you'll get a script, and you'll read that script, and you'll love the script for what you're reading, right? So once you accept that, once you accept what's in the script, and you sign the deal, but then the director gets a hold of the script and decides what he wants to do with it, and he'll make changes to the script, which he is allowed to do without question. So so you read the script and it's one way, the director gets it and he's like, yeah, you know what? Instead of him kissing a woman, I'm gonna change it to him kissing a man. And sometimes shit like that happens. So you really got it. Now you have to be thorough in your contract. When you say, I want the script as is, you almost have to put it in writing, because that's what's going to happen. And right now, Hollywood, and fuck it, I'm gonna just say it. Right now in Hollywood, that's what they're fucking trying to do. They want every single fucking relationship in their movies to be gay at this point. They do. I have nothing against gay people. Hey, I'm all about, eat what you want, drink what you want, play what you want, fuck whoever you want to fuck. I don't care. I don't care. What you want to do. You're an American. You pay your taxes like everybody else. You should be able to do whatever the hell you want to do. It's not my concern. It's not my business to tell you what to do. As long as number one is consensual, and number two, no animals or kids are involved. Have fun. Do whatever the hell you want to do. But with that said, you can't enforce your shit on me either. You get what I'm saying? Like, fuck that. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know. This kind of got me heated, man. Like, I'm like, since when? And Hollywood has been playing this game now for a while. And they've been losing, and they still aren't learning their lessons. I'm not saying there's not a market. Look, there's a market for everything. Right? But you got to know your market. There was a movie that came out a few years ago called Bros. It's a movie about, it was a gay romantic comedy, right? By Billy, I can't remember his last name, but he's a gay comedian. Every joke he tells is about being gay. He's one of those kind of people. The same kind of annoying people who, like, when they're black, all they do is talk about being black, or if they're Mexican, they talk about, a bunch of, Mexican jokes. It's like, okay, we get it. We get what you are, right? And I understand, as a comedian, you talk about what you know. I get it. It's just after a while, it gets kind of like, it gets old. But Billy Porter, or not Billy Porter, Billy, I can't remember his last name. He made this romantic comedy called Bros, and it tanked. It tanked hard, man. Like, no one went to see this film. Like, it was embarrassing how much money it made at the box office. And he was angry, and he was calling the movie-going audience homophobes because they didn't support his film. Now, of course, he got trashed for doing it, but he had the balls to say it was our fault his movie failed because of our homophobia. Maybe if he knew his market, his movie would have been fine. If he would have advertised and promoted his movie to the right audience, he would have been fine, right? But you can't expect everybody to be into the shit you're into. You just can't. But know who you're marketing to, right? I mean, the movie Sinners, which I thought was phenomenal, right? It's not, they marketed it to the right people, and that movie made money. Yeah, there's people who don't want to watch it for various reasons, But and you know what? That's fine. That's their decision. That's their choice. But why do sinners do so well? Right? I mean, they knew who they were marketing to. But you can't force shit on people. I'm sorry, you just can't. You know, I will get in trouble for saying this right now, but fuck it. I'm in a mood. I'm gonna just say it. And I don't know who needs to hear this. Being straight, I'm not even talking about, in this country. I'm talking about just worldwide, right? Since the beginning of fucking time. Being straight is the factory reset. That is the standard, right? As far as that is the natural progression of things. Now, if you're gay, that's cool. I'm not saying this, but it's a small percent, right? And being trans is an even smaller percent of that, supposedly. Not you can tell by the way they're going about it, but yeah. So I'm not saying you market to a small percent, but you market to the people who you know are going to show up for you. Most straight people, I hate to tell you this, no matter how fucking progressive they say they are, they don't want to see gay guys just fucking. I'm sorry, they don't. You think you think straight women watch gay porn? No. No, even though they love dressing up with the gays and doing things like that. You think that they want to watch them make out? Now, sure, there might be some. There might be like a few overall, and that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about the overall. No. And again, I know I'm gonna get shit for this video, but I don't give a fuck. I don't care. This has to be said, man. This just has to be said. And it's not a rant. It's just what it is. Because Terrence Howard is getting shit for this. And this is a man who says some outrageous things over time, by the way. Throughout his years, Terrence Howard has said some crazy shit. But this is the thing he's getting dragged the most for. Because he said he doesn't want to kiss a guy.